An Asian male had come inside of the building and was armed with a shotgun.
Just a terrible scene. The coroner just left carrying away the bodies of 2 people.
My name is Dr. Sang. We had a crisis that we experienced in March 31st, 2015. We were away, actually, in Taiwan on spring break, visiting my wife's family. And I got a call at like 3 in the morning over there, which was about 11 o'clock over here. And I found out from my staff that one of my employees was being threatened by an ex-husband. As I was taking the call and I was talking to my staff, my wife got online and was working for a crisis communications manager. And luckily found Holly, Carter & Company, was online and picked up the call right away and was on it before I even hung up the phone with my staff.
The Sangs were out of the country, so clearly they could not be the point of contact. Typically, we like our clients to be the ones that are being interviewed by the media. We could not wait until they returned back to the country to respond. So we stepped up, we developed the messaging, we became the spokesperson for the Sangs. One thing that isn't known or commonly known that a company faces when they're facing a crisis is the first call they need to make is to their crisis communications company. What they usually do is call their attorney, and the advice their attorney gives them is don't say a word. Don't do anything that would involve any kind of risk. And that is a death sentence to the brand.
With the help of a crisis management team, employees returned Wednesday to contact patients and cancel appointments through the week.
I really cannot think of one thing that Carter & Co. could have done differently because it was an impossible task in my mind. There's so many things that were happening, so many variables and that actually we could not anticipate that Carter & Co. was able to anticipate for us.
So when a crisis happens, there's a variety of things that a customer or client is going through, but most of all what happens is they just totally freak out. They are not prepared, they haven't even thought about something like this happening, and they don't know what to do. They're trying to figure out who should talk to the police, who needs to call OSHA, who needs to call the insurance company, which order do you do any of those? Of course, call your attorney, and in the back of their mind, they're sitting there thinking, how am I gonna take care of this person that's been involved in the crisis or people, and how am I gonna keep from going out of business?
I feel like the support that we got from Carter & Co. helped us overcome any obstacles that may have caused us to lose business. If I had not hired Carter & Co. as our communications and crisis manager, I don't know where we would be.
One of the things we did was contact Rocky Pipkin of Pipkin Detective Agency and engaged him to help us create a plan for how to secure the environment, not only for Sang Pediatrics, but for the surrounding businesses.
I run the Pipkin Detective Agency. We've been in business since 1987. On average, through FBI statistics, and active violence in the workplace costs an average of $800,000 to a business. So it's very costly, and you've got to balance between hiring a professional team to manage the crisis and again do the damage control and things of that nature to get the business moving forward again. And it's just very important. And Carter & Company did the best job that I've ever seen, and this was a horrific example of workplace violence. But Carter & Company had a great plan, took care of everything for the Sangs, and I could not believe how quickly they got the clinic up and running. It was within, I believe, a week to 10 days, and it was totally amazing. And the planning that went into that by the revamping of the clinic area and the area that was affected by this individual's heinous acts was just amazing. It's always good to have a plan, but again, we're here in the Valley and businesses just don't believe that this is going to happen to them, but it does. It's such a complex and sophisticated situation with workplace violence and crisis management that if you don't have people who have done it before, you're going to have problems. So my point is that if you hire Carter & Company, if you do run into a situation where you have a crisis, you're better off to get them on board in their team because they have a plan. They've been through it before. They have a team together, and they can get you where you need to be a lot quicker and a lot more efficiently than by trying to do it on your own.
For every business, our goal is to inform, equip, and inspire you to go back to your company, create and implement a crisis communication plan immediately. One final note. When a crisis occurs, there exists a finite period in time where there are opportunities to develop new relationships and new possibilities that will strengthen and enhance the future of your business.